All right, I just started recording.
Okay. I'm going to call this meeting to order on March 20th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. And we're looking for approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll motion for one.
Thank you, Lay. Do I have a second? Oh, Mary Godley seconds. She's sitting here with me. Okay, are there any additions to the agenda other than what was sent out?
I just wanted to add in another discussion topic after we discussed the cancel publication procedures on the partial processing of EDI shipments.
Partial processing of EDI what?
The partial EDI shipments, and now you have to press the button
shipments.
to process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Officer reports. I have nothing. Vice Chair?
I have nothing either.
Secretary?
I have nothing.
Thank you. All right, staff reports. Rachel?
All right, great. Good morning, everyone. The full staff report is in the packet. I will summarize it and take any questions. There's a lot to cover today. Since the Polaris 7.5 upgrade, Grays Lake has tested it for bugs and confirmed that the EDI ordering bugs have been fixed. If you want to start using Leap, you are welcome to do so. However, it is still missing the functionality to process the partial shipments like it has in the client, ASN, and printing vouchers. Printing vouchers will be coming with the 7.6 upgrade. Innovative is in the process of creating a patch for version 7.5 to meet Ingram's SFTP requirement. Ingram is not planning to shut down or shut off FTP access on April 15th anymore. Moving everyone to the SFTP will take more time. Innovative is looking for early adopters to take the patch and place some orders to ensure that it is working properly. If you send Ingram EDI orders and are interested in being an early adopter, please contact me via the help desk. The Polaris upgrades for 7.6 and 7.7 will add new technical services functions in the second and fourth quarter. So I'll need to take some time to update the online courses before I schedule any additional training on them. I am planning a virtual training session on searching in Leap for cataloging and serial staff, but acquisitions is welcome to come in June 2024. I'm just doing this because some of the cataloging and serial staff were interested in not doing any searching for acquisitions records. So I'm going to split that out for a later training, and we'll just be searching for bibliographic records, item records, and serials records during that training session. But if you would like to schedule any training for your library on any topic, please do contact me. I'm happy to come to your library to do any customized training that you'd like. It's also time for officer nominations. They will be the chair for next year because she was the vice chair and chair-elect this year. So we need nominations for the vice chair or chair-elect and secretary for next year. Description of the duties are in the document that was linked to in the packet. If you have any questions about this, Deborah is planning on scheduling a Q&A session about the technical and advisory groups soon. So please email me by mid-May if you are interested in nominating yourself for one of those positions. And that is it for the staff report. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions?
Feel free to type it in the chat or unmute yourself.
Okay, new business.
All right. Next on the agenda is the fiscal year rollover. I do this presentation every year, so I know many of you are familiar with it, but I do like to refresh everyone's memory on the fiscal year rollover and introduce any new staff to it in case there are new staff. So 1 second. I share my screen. The rollover process transitions the acquisitions module from your current fiscal year to a new fiscal year. It automatically generates a new fiscal year structure identical to that of your current fiscal year and sets your previous fiscal year to a status that will prevent new orders from being placed on it. Depending on the type of rollover you choose, the status of the closed fiscal year will stay closed or encumbrances closed. There are 3 options to choose from for the fiscal year rollover: run fiscal year rollover utility and roll over the free balance, run fiscal year rollover utility and zero out the free balance, or replicate fiscal year hierarchy. Most libraries choose the option to zero out the free balance. Running the fiscal year rollover utility creates a new fiscal year with a fund structure identical to that of the current fiscal year. If the encumbrances are rolled over, the process unlinks certain records connected to uninvoiced POs from the old funds and relinks them to the corresponding funds in the new fiscal year. This includes the pending POs, polys on pending POs, open invoices, and PO templates. So when you choose to roll over the encumbrances, the encumbered amounts are disencumbered in the old fiscal year and rolled over to the new one. This is recorded in the fund history of the fund records. Then the utility closes all funds from the current fiscal year so that you will not be able to use them for future orders. When running the fiscal year utility and rolling over the encumbrances, there are 2 options to choose from. The free balance can either roll over with the encumbrances or be zeroed out, so all funds start with a $0 free balance. The majority of the libraries choose to zero out the free balance. There are some libraries that choose to replicate the hierarchy. This creates a new fiscal year with a fund structure identical to that of the current fiscal year, but does not roll over the encumbrances or linked records. The beginning free balance is $0. The status is updated to encumbrances closed. In this state, staff can still receive and expend purchase order line items that were encumbered prior to the utility being run in the fiscal year that they were ordered in. Once all outstanding orders have been received and invoiced, we will close the previous fiscal year. There are a number of tasks that can help you to prepare for the rollover. You can run the outstanding orders report. This helps identify which purchase orders will be rolled over or will remain attached to the previous fiscal year. It is important to release or delete pending purchase orders. You should also pay open invoices so that money is expended from the current fiscal year and apply known credits to paid invoices. You can also ask for me to run the pre-processing report. This shows the current state of the fund balances to be rolled over. It's also possible to schedule a test rollover and training, but this data will not be current since it was last updated in January. It's also helpful to review instructions for correction or for correcting the uninvoiced purchase orders. Even when purchase orders are received, they need to be properly linked to an invoice before the fiscal year rollover. If they are not linked to invoices, the purchase orders will roll over to the next fiscal year. Instructions for doing this is on the CCS website, and there's a link to this page in the slide. This slide lists a number of SQL queries that are helpful to run. On the purchase order line item find tool, there are received polys not invoiced. On the purchase order find tool, or on the purchase order line item find tool, there is received polys not invoiced. On the purchase order find tool, there's POs not canceled or closed and POs not invoiced. On the invoices find tool, there's also the invoices not paid or closed SQL query. So on the rollover day, CCS staff will complete their rollover early in the morning before 7 a.m. It can also be scheduled for the nighttime after 9 p.m. We will send an email to the listserv to let everyone know about the upcoming rollover and send an all clear message when it's safe to resume using the acquisitions module. I will rename the new fiscal year, but library staff will add or delete new funds as needed and allocate dollar amounts to the funds. In the presentation, there's also links to additional web pages that may be useful for you. Are there any questions that anyone has on the fiscal year rollover process?
Rachel, this is Lei.
Yes.
The fiscal year ends June 30th for us, and it lands on a Sunday this year. So will you be able to close the book for us on Sunday? Or would you prefer like a Monday?
We would prefer to do it either on the Friday or Monday.
Okay.
Kathy asks, how soon can we request our fiscal year rollover? You can request it as soon as you like, and I'll add it to my calendar. Karen asks, what is the CCS site that has all these directions? One second, let me get the link. And I will paste that into the chat. All right, the first link I'm pasting is the one for correcting uninvoiced POs. I pasted that one in the chat. Shanti asks if the meeting is being recorded. It is being recorded. Let's see, did you need me to paste other links in the chat? I will be able to send out the presentation after the meeting, and you'll be able to see the links in the presentation. Are there any other questions?
No? All right, moving on to discussions. Canceled publication procedure for combo packs.
All right, I wanted to bring this up because there were some issues that came up earlier in the year in which the Midwest Tape canceled the DVD and or the Blu-ray that were offered as separate discs, but not the combo pack. And it seems like that was a trend. And I was wondering if anyone had any suggestions on how to improve our procedures going forward with the situation when the combo pack is not canceled. I know one thing that I could do is just be um, vigilant about when a DVD and Blu-ray is sent to me to make sure I check with everyone if it's a combo pack. Are there any other suggestions on what we could do besides that?
My only suggestion is like when you receive the notification from Midwest, I guess when I receive the notification from Midwest, I do check to see if it's a combo order that we ordered. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. Um, so I check to see if it's a combo order first, and then hmm, then check to see if there's actually if they stop the combo order. Yeah, it's a complicated process. I guess it depends on libraries that do order combo or they don't order the combo. Because
Right.
sometimes once we order the combo, they cancel the DVD. So on your monthly report, it shows that they cancel the DVD order, but not necessarily the actual release of the DVD. Does that make sense?
Yes. So it sounds like everyone needs to just check their own orders to see if the combo pack is still available.
Right. Or if you order a combo pack and then it becomes just a Blu-ray only, then on your monthly notification, it shows that you cancel DVD. Or no, I'm sorry. No. That's wrong. Sorry. Right. So yeah, if it's a combo and they just cancel the combo and it just becomes a Blu-ray only. So it should not come up on your notification at all.
Okay.
Rachel, my question is, when Midwest lets you know, how do they let you know? Like, do they say the DVD was canceled or just a Blu-ray, or how do they inform you?
I don't have that information, but does someone else have the ability to explain that to Cassie? In the chat, it says that Karen gets an email from Midwest Tape sometimes.
If they're changing the format of the release, such as combo pack is not available anymore, they're releasing a single Blu-ray and a single DVD, those are emails that I get, or vice versa. Was available as Blu-ray, but now only available as combo pack. But otherwise, I don't get notification for cancellations. Alicia, correct me if I'm wrong. I have another person on this meeting with us, but don't we have to go to the Midwest site to get the cancellation list from Midwest Tape?
Mary
Yeah, I go to
Godley.
their website.
Oh, sorry. Mary Godley can tell you what happens here at Indian Trails.
There's some comments in the site that they do go to the website And there is a report online. So, Cassie, if you're not getting emails, you may want to contact Midwest Tape to make sure that
Yeah.
you're the one getting the emails.
Yeah, because we do get email. Mary and I both get email when they made a change.
Rachel, will it help if when we send you a cancellation publication notification, like to state it was a notification from Midwest due to combo or single Blu-ray or single DVD or something like that in the note field to you?
Yeah, I think that could help. I want to make sure that I don't put anything on the list that shouldn't be on the list so that we don't have any more confusion about which item records should be deleted and which shouldn't be. Right. In the chat, Karen posted that once you log in, you go to Tools and Reports, and then you can scroll down to see the cancellation reports. So I think if I'm notified that that it is a DVD or Blu-ray, I'll try to remember to ask everyone to check to see if the combo pack is available. And then I would just announce it, but not put it on the list to delete so that we don't delete the wrong item records and holds. So we'd want to leave the holds if it's coming out as a Blu-ray combo pack. All right. Is there anything else about this topic, or should we move on to the next thing?
Okay, the next.
Okay, so there was another discussion topic that I wanted to bring up today. So with the EDI processing in Polaris, there is a setting that we use on the back end to hold the partial shipments because of how it processes the EDI invoices. And when we do so, that requires acquisition staff to press the button to process the EDI invoices in the acquisitions module. So I was wondering, because Leap doesn't have that ability yet, how often do you feel you need to use that button to process the EDI invoice for the partial shipments? Is that a common occurrence for some of you, or not something that's really common at all?
It's on and off for us where we have to do partials.
Do you know how often it is? Is it like on a monthly basis or more than once a month?
I would say monthly at least.
Okay. Is that typical for everyone that it's monthly?
We at Palatine don't do EDI, so I can't speak on the fact of the EDI shipment, but we use Ingram and we do get partial shipments from them on occasion at least 2 to 3 times a month from Ingram. But there's also an option at Ingram where we could choose not to receive partial shipment. So that's just
Okay.
I would say
Rachel, can you hear me?
Yes.
We receive partial EDI shipments all the time, and I think that's just due to our selectors including pre-order and back-ordered items in their carts. But I mean, we have partials all the time.
Okay. All right, thanks for your feedback. All right, I think we can move on to the next two topics on the agenda. Is
Okay.
Megan Brown here today?
Yes, I'm here today.
Great. Megan had two questions to ask everyone, so feel free to bring those up and discuss those now.
Okay, so should the patron account number in Baker and Taylor for the hold on an item under notes, is it fine to have that in the notes when you do the mark record download, or can you just delete it from the bib record after the download? I'm sort of concerned about the patron privacy with their account number being in the record when it's downloaded. So I'm not really sure which way is best to handle that.
Brenda
Hi.
posted an answer in the chat. She says she deletes the card number off the notes before downloading the mark record. So she just jots down the information and the title and then places the hold after the PO is released. Kathy?
We've done either way. It can be a little cleaner beforehand so that we don't have our patron data potentially hanging out there. But Bob did create a special report for us to look at the 970 data. So if you're interested, I can forward that to you. Just put your email in the chat.
I normally would, jot it down and delete it prior to the download, just so I know that it's done and it's not hanging out there. But I just wanted to find out, what other libraries were doing, just to know if it's easier to do it afterwards or best to do it before. But that sounds like my question is answered. Thank you.
Stephanie pasted another answer in the chat. She said she always deletes the number after she places the hold so that it isn't visible after ordering. She leaves the note in the item records.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Megan, you had a second question on our agenda?
Yes, I was wondering what other libraries do with items that are still on order with Baker and Taylor after a longer amount of time. It might be 1 year, it might be 2 years even. How long do you allow them to stay on order if they're not cancelled by Baker and Taylor and they're not available on Amazon as an alternative? And how do you best keep track of these outstanding items? Because I know at Wilmette we have these cards which get printed off with each item and they follow the book throughout the library. So we have these cards to refer to, and occasionally I've found some cards which are really old on order items and they're still in Baker and Taylor as on order. So I'm just wondering how people keep track of that and if they sort of periodically do maintenance with that to know where things are at with the items.
We periodically do maintenance. We try to keep our database clean because it makes our fiscal year rollover much easier. the cleaner the data, the easier the process. And we do run all of our old orders past our selectors because they need to know what they have out there. And if it's something that they absolutely want to have on order, that they know that it's still hanging out there. And more often than not, they'll tell us to go ahead and remove the order, delete it out of Polaris, follow up with the vendor so that we're not getting it coming in later. And if they really want it, then they reorder it. So hopefully that helps.
Okay, that sounds good. Just communicating with the selector and seeing what they want to do.
There is an outstanding orders report in the client. If you go to the utilities drop-down menu, it's under reports and notices, then acquisitions and outstanding orders. So that might also be helpful for you.
Okay, thank you.
But I got a question. Doesn't Baker and Taylor, like if your items are on order for a year, I'm assuming then they're on back order. Don't they send you like a cancellation notification or anything?
I do know that some of our like accounts, so I do the youth service items, and with those accounts, the priority items, they are meant to be cancelled after 6 months. And then the non-priority items are meant to be cancelled after 1.5 years. But I'm just wondering if that actually takes place because of the cards that I found in my file box that were kind of outdated. I'm quite new to the acquisition, so I'm not sure sort of why I have these old cards sort of sitting in my file box with items sort of on order from, say, 2 years ago.
I see.
Karen asks if most of these are because the pub date keeps stretching out later and later.
Okay, thanks.
What I
B&T
do monthly, I'm sorry, hold on. Apologize. What I do is on a monthly at the end of the month, I'll do the purchase order line item sequel on the staff client, the sequel that's on order greater than 6 months. And that's how I would track what's still on order. And I do
Okay,
that on
great.
a monthly basis. So just
Thank you, that's helpful.
On the B&T website, you can go to the customer service drop-down and go to the customer service dashboard. And then you can go to the recent orders. You can see view all open POs, and you can get a title listing of everything that's still open according to Baker and Taylor. And
Okay.
then if it's not on there, then it's no longer on order. I have had once in a while with B&T where something should have been canceled by the back order cancel date, and it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. So if it's not on there, it's not on order anymore.
Okay, thank you.
There are some other comments in the chat. Stephanie Girardi says that it depends on your settings with them, that they changed the settings from 6 months to infinity. And she checks for open POs and tells the selectors. Karen says it's also helpful to update the street date information for the bib record if it has changed so the rest of CCS knows it has a new date. And that's it.
Yeah, and Jack had a similar situation. It wasn't as bad for them. But
Thanks, Meg, for bringing those questions to the meeting today.
Oh, great. Thank you for your wisdom.
Okay, any other?
Kelly? Kelly?
Yeah, I'm here. Any other questions? Other than what we discussed?
very small, so they're not doing well.
I hear something in the background. That's why I didn't know if that's somebody talking. All right, are there any announcements? Okay, All right, can I have a motion to adjourn our meeting? Okay, Mary
There's a
Godley
motion in the chat.
and Karen seconds. Okay, our next meeting date will be in September and the location is to be announced. All right, thank you all for coming today.